Hey friend, I'm Brandon Gustafson. I help beginners like you launch their assisted living business in the next 12 months. In today's video, we're going to be getting into a 5-phase approach to launching your assisted living business. So if you need help launching that business, make sure you stick around for today's video because we're going to talk all about that in our simple 5-phase approach to doing this. Hey friend, welcome back to the channel, Assisted Living Investing. Excited to have you here. Before we get started into our 5-phase approach, I want to remind you to get over to the website, assistedlivinginvesting.net, where you can get access to our free underwriting calculator. So make sure you go and check that out. We'll have links down below. Now let's get into our topic for today's video. We have a 5-phase approach that I like to bring people through as they are trying to launch their assisted living business. So I want to lay this out for you so you understand exactly what this looks like. Phase number 1 is all about building your business foundation. There's a lot that goes into this, but you have to do this. A lot of people skip this step or they kind of throw it in at other places. But what I want you to do is make sure you have the foundations that you need so you can make some progress. We talked previously in a video about vision work. So make sure you go and watch that because it's going to give you some guidance there. The vision work is going to help you create the life that you want and then fit the business into it. The business foundation is now getting that business moving forward in a spot for where it's meeting that need and filling that gap so that you can launch that business for yourself. So in this phase, we're going to kind of have 4 different sections. One is going to be your business plan. Building a business plan is the first section. Building a business plan is such an important part. It gives you the clarity that you need to really get things going and know what type of business you're going to be building. It also makes other people excited to work with you. Lenders, partners, investors. It gives them something to kind of look at and really kind of put together and feel excited about building with you and making some progress. So make sure you spend a lot of time getting a really solid business plan. It will make or break your business. The second thing is going to be underwriting. So in underwriting, it's really just kind of looking at the financials and making a decision on if the financials are going to make sense. What you're going to do in this phase is you're going to take all the financials that existed from the previous owners and you're going to do a little bit of underwriting. You're going to do some projecting and we'll create what's called a pro forma. Most banks are going to want to see something that is 24 to 36 months. They want it on a month-by-month thing. And if you want a template for that, make sure you go and grab our free underwriting calculator. We'll link that down below, but assistedlivinginvesting.net/calculator. We'll get that to you for free and really kind of help build that. And if you need some help like understanding the calculator, go check out the business planning guide as well. It's assistedlivinginvesting.net/BPG for business planning guide. And it will give you all the kind of guidance that you need as you are getting started down this path. The next phase is market research. And again, this is in the business planning guide. I update this on an annual basis, but you need to figure out exactly where you want to be doing this, which geographic location. You want to look at things like, where people are going to retire, how much money people are making. You want to look at some of these other things that crime statistics, and you want to look at things like political leanings, which can really actually impact your business based off of the regulations in a state or in a county. There's so many pieces of market research that you want to pay attention to. And when you pay attention to it, it's going to just kind of make a huge difference in where you are deciding to go. As an example, so we did our first facility in Colorado and we just kind of jumped into it and I was really excited and it's been successful, but we spent a lot more time on the second go round, especially in the market research phase. And we identified the Boise area as a spot for us. And we bought our second facility in Nampa and it has been more successful. And it's because we spent that time doing the research, building the plan, being more conservative in our underwriting. And it got us to the point where we have these 2 facilities and I could tell you very easily which one is more profitable for us. And it's based off of my experiences now that I've done it, but I learned a ton as I went through that process. The fourth thing here in this phase is all about identifying who you want to serve. Are you serving an elderly population? Are you working with those that deal with mental health issues, schizophrenia, bipolar? Who do you want to serve? You want to build all of this out. This is your criteria. Everything that you're doing here is the base for where you want to go. And we're going to talk about this more in a future video, and we'll link that up above once it's ready. But it's all about business plan and building that foundation and why it's so important. Second phase, number 2, is going to be finding the right property for you. So because you spent so much time in the foundation section, you have the criteria. You know how many beds you want, you know which population you want to serve. You want to know, you already know which geographic location. You know all of these things. And so now when you start looking on Zillow for a house that you want to convert, or Redfin, or you start looking on LoopNet for a house that you want to buy, or you start engaging a broker or an agent that's going to help you identify, find the house, you already have all of this criteria. You just hand it to them and they're like, oh, well, yeah, here's 5 opportunities for you, right? It's going to streamline that process so much because you have done so much of your groundwork and you know exactly what you want. It's really important for you to spend time in phase 1 so that the rest of these phases go a lot faster for you. Now, when you are looking at phase 2, which is going to be all about finding the house, there's 3 things that you need to be aware of. One is zoning. Make sure you talk to the local municipality to see if it's actually zoned properly for you. You also, number 2, want to talk to the fire department and make sure that it is, it's actually going to work for you. See if you need a fire suppression system, any other renovations on the house. They give you a punch list that's going to help you know what you need to do. And then number 3 is going to be figuring out exactly how many beds that you have and how many beds you can have in the house, rooms versus beds, and what that looks like. So make sure you spend some time here figuring out exactly what you need to do in phase 2, which is finding the right property for you. So phase 3 is funding. A lot of people say this is the part that is the most difficult, or the thing that they are most scared of. And this could be anything from I don't have the money for a down payment all the way to I have no idea where to find a lender or what type of financing I want. So in this phase, we're going to help you understand exactly what type of funding options are out there, and then start talking to those people, whether it's SBA, which is something I have a lot of experience in, or if it's finding a partner that's going to help you out with that down payment, or working with private money to the point that you do private money for a little bit and then you refinance that into more of a traditional. There are so many options out there with funding that will help you get into your assisted living business, and we want to help you understand exactly what that looks like. Inside of this phase, you're going to figure out that type of funding. You're going to find the lender, and then you're going to be, I'll be teaching you how to work with a lender. So if you want to check out the mastermind program to see if it's a good fit for you, go to assistedlivinginvesting.net/mastermind. What I have found though is learning how to work with a lender is so important. You need to have the documents ready. You need to be responsive, and building that relationship, whether they work with you or not, is going to be crucial to your future success. And when you do those things, it's going to be beneficial. Now, phase 4 is all about kind of obtaining the licenses. This is the regulatory piece of everything that you need to put together. So in this phase, you're going to learn how to get the facility license itself, whether it's a brand new license or you're doing a change of ownership, slightly different processes, the application, all the paperwork you need, your policies and procedures, everything that goes into that is there. But also, if you want to be the administrator, this is the phase where you're working on getting that and becoming the administrator. And if you want to be Medicaid certified, this is happening at this point as well, kind of walking you through the process of understanding what it means to be Medicaid certified. The regulatory piece of healthcare in general is something that scares a lot of people, and why there's such a high barrier to getting into this type of a business. But it's not something that you need to be scared of. This is where people think, I have no healthcare experience, I can't do this. That is not true. You can do this even if you don't have the healthcare experience. You just need to kind of frame yourself. What we did in that foundational piece there of the business plan, the business foundation, you're going to write why you're still a good fit even though you don't have the healthcare background. That's going to help you be successful and make some progress as you go through this. Now, the other thing that I want you to be aware of is, yes, these regulations exist. You are caring for people. They can be confusing. It is not easy to do this, but it is something that you can do. You just need somebody to kind of give you some guidance. The state is actually really good at helping you along that path. But if you need somebody to kind of walk you through and help you understand what it means, then check out the mastermind program. Is something that I love doing, is helping people and kind of helping them understand the healthcare industry, because it is so confusing. And the last thing is phase 5. And a lot of people ask me, actually, why is the mastermind program a 12-month program? Is it really going to take me that long to launch the business? And the answer to that is no, it won't take you that long. I closed on my first facility in 4 months. Second one was 3.5 months. So you can definitely do this in less than 12 months. But the reason why I do this as a 12-month program is because it's going to allow you to get things up and running and launch and then potentially scale that business if that's what you want. This is phase 5. So in here, we're going to be talking about, all the things that you need to do to run a successful business. This is going to be things like finding a payroll vendor, how to run payroll, making sure you have the bank set up correctly, meal planning, what tools are you going to use for that? This is getting into how to go and buy the groceries and some of the tools that we use that help us get into that process. We're also going to talk a little bit about hiring the right people. How you're going to go and find and hire that right person, whether it's the administrator or your other staff, tools that you can use to do that. We're going to be getting into setting up KPIs so you know if the business is running well or not. A really big one for you to be aware of is going to be your occupancy rates. What does that look like? But you want to set up, 3 to 10 of these KPIs so you know exactly how the business is running. Now, I've been talking a lot about this throughout the entire video, but if you need help, check out the Assisted Living Investing Mastermind program. It is something that is here to give you some guidance and give you the support that you need over that 12-month process so that you can feel confident in your ability to launch this business. So make sure you check that out. To recap what we've been talking about, our 5-phase approach. Phase 1 was working on the business foundations, business plan, underwriting, all of those things that kind of build a foundation for everything else. Phase 2 is finding the right property. Phase 3 is getting the funding so you can actually buy the property or buy the business. Phase 4 is going to be all about licensing and the regulatory piece of being in the assisted living world. And phase 5 is where you make it or break it. This is where it is the help that you need to actually launch and scale that business and make it what you want it to be. If you found this video to be helpful, if you found all this information to be helpful, make sure you like the video, subscribe, and ring the bell as well so you get notified every time we put out content. We do our lives on Tuesdays and we do these other videos on Thursdays to make sure you have all the support and guidance that you need and to help you out as you're trying to learn how to launch that assisted living business. So make sure you check us out over at assistedlivinginvesting.net as well and do all the things here on the channel so you get notified once I put out more of this content to really give you some guidance and help you along your path to launching your assisted living business. Does residential assisted living sound interesting to you but you don't know how to get started? At assistedlivinginvesting.net, we're here to help beginners like you launch their assisted living business in the next 12 months. Make sure you check us out over on the website so I can bring you through and see if it's a good fit for you or not. Assistedlivinginvesting.mastermind is the best place for you to go to see if we can help you out in your certain situation. And remember, it doesn't take a lot, just a little bit. Keep going, keep making progress step by step by step. I promise that if you do, you're going to be successful. Thanks for watching and have a great day.